Walter. For those of you who don't know, Walter is a specialist for the metal fabrication industry. So whether it's grinding, sanding, cutting, power tools, any of that, for the construction, infrastructure, manufacturing, transportation, all of those types of industries, we have solutions. And of course, we do have a section for cleaners and lubricants, hence the webinar today. And this webinar is really targeted to help our clients, you, that work in janitorial, maintenance, cleaning staff, even for our distributor partners that have any kind of relation to these big industries, these important industries, so that we can really provide you only the best solutions for you to work as efficiently and as productively as possible. So before we begin, we have to say that, of course, there's a lot of things happening in today's world. Most notably is the coronavirus and COVID-19. With the current studies out there and being made as we speak, we do have information in the sense that the virus can stay viable for hours up to days on certain types of surfaces. Of course, you working and doing your best day to day, you come in contact with a lot of different surfaces, whether it's your desk, your chair, phones, railings, elevator buttons. We don't really realize how often we come into with so many different things. And Walter is dedicated to providing solutions for the cleaning and janitorial employees, really doing the important work right now in preventing the spread of the virus in the workplace and keeping everyone safe. So we really want to provide this webinar for guidance and preventative measures so that you stay responsible, you stay safe during this difficult time. So some of the key topics we're going to go over today are some of the international recommendations, some steps for effective and safe cleaning for your surfaces, the Walter Matrix, how do you select a cleaning product, some of the tricks and tips to keep in mind when working with hazardous products, and what are some of the solutions available. So before we get started, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page in terms of what we consider frequently touched hard surfaces. So hard surfaces are anything that are normally going to be made out of metal or plastic. So these can be door handles and doorknobs, elevator buttons, light switches, phones and remotes, could be hand dryers or sinks and faucets in the bathroom or the kitchen, or even in the cafeteria, hand railings. All of that are surfaces that we come into contact multiple times during the day. There are some other types of hard surfaces that are maybe not as frequently touched, but are still being in contact every day. So that's going to be flooring, walls, ceilings, mirrors, and windows. So before we go a little bit more into detail, we have a little question for you to think about. From what you know, what surface does the coronavirus last the longest on? Stainless steel, aluminum, copper, plastic, or cardboard? I'll give you 5 to 10 seconds to think about this. All right, I hope you all made a choice. So based on current studies, plastic is one of the materials that the virus can be the most viable for the longest amount of time. So here we have the lifespan based on the most recent scientific studies. So you can see here that plastic and glass tend to have the longest amount of lifespan for the virus, but you'll see that copper and aluminum tend to have the shortest amount. So this kind of brings into question how important it is for cleaning, especially if the virus can stay for alive for so long on these surfaces. So another quick question, are cleaners and disinfectants the same thing? So I'll give you 5 seconds to think about this. All right, so cleaners and disinfectants are not the same thing. And this is really important because when we're looking at the recommendations, whether we're in Canada, whether we're in the US, or even European Union, based on the World Health Organization, all of our government suggestions and recommendations are that we need to clean surfaces daily, especially hard surfaces that I mentioned before. Those are considered germ hotspots. And you also want to end up following that cleaning step with a disinfection. So you both need a cleaning step as well as a disinfection step to have the maximum amount of prevention So if we go a little bit more into detail, cleaners are products that have a soap component. So either a soap or a detergent, both mean the same thing in this case. And this really helps to break down any oils and greases, any kind of dust, anything that is considered dirt in a sense. So organic material from the surface. And cleaners help to prevent the spread of germs. So it doesn't necessarily kill the germs, but they can help to prevent and reduce the amount on your surfaces. Disinfecting, on the other hand, is a chemical agent or a product that is used to kill germs. In order to have an effective disinfecting product and a disinfection of your surface, you have to make sure that your surface is clean. There's no point in disinfecting when you have a layer of oil and grease on your surface. It's not really going to do much. You really want to have a cleaner that is going to remove all of your dirt, all of your dust, all of those types of contaminants, and then you want to follow up with a disinfection. So disinfection can be, for example, bleach that's diluted to 5 to 10% based on current recommendations, or it could be a solution that's made between 60 to 80% of alcohol. Whether you're working with a cleaner or a disinfectant, just remember to always read and follow the instructions on the label. You will see, for example, disinfectants, you tend to have a longer soaking time, and we'll discuss that about soaking time a little bit later. But in order to get disinfecting properties, you tend to have to follow certain types of steps. And when you have to clean, there might be some other directions to follow based on the manufacturing labels. So once you have your cleaners or your disinfectants, then you actually need to use some equipment to do your cleaning. Now, all equipment should be proper for what you're trying to accomplish. If you are going to be doing some spray and wipe cleaning, if as much as possible, please use products that are going to be disposable. So if you can use any kinds of cloths that are easy and throwable afterwards, please do so. If you're going to be using rags or cloths or anything like that, anything fabric related, between cleaning, if possible, try to launder them, to wash them with hot water especially, and soap, of course, because again, if you're going to be cleaning different surfaces and then you're going to come back the next time to clean, you might have some germs on your rag, and you want to make sure that you contaminate each time so that you're, again, minimizing the amount of virus germs on your surface and being spread to your environment. Things like mops, for example, again, the same thing. After each time, if you're able to at least rinse them out with hot water and soap, just to try to clean as much as possible before every decontamination of your process, please do that. Now, we talked about the importance of cleaning and the difference between cleaning and disinfecting, but how often should you be cleaning? Is it once every 3 days, once per day, once per shift, twice per shift, or once every hour? Three, two, one. So the most important is to clean at least once per shift. Recommendations can be once per shift up to twice per shift. Of course, washing your hands every hour or more frequent is important, but in terms of hard surfaces, we're looking at least 1 to 2 times per shift. So whether you're working in reception areas, rest areas, office areas, even just common areas and washrooms, things like that, those areas that have the most people coming through are going to require a lot more cleaning. Obviously, if you're at a desk type job, you tend to be in control of your own environment. You might not have to clean so often. But for other areas where many different people come into contact with all sorts of different objects, you want to try to increase your cleaning frequency. So in order to clean your surfaces and then disinfect, you want to make sure you're cleaning properly, and that's in the sense that clean first and then disinfect. And depending on what you're cleaning, so whether it's handrails or elevator buttons, you're going to maybe have a different type of technique, and maybe it's not just going to be a spray and wipe, maybe you're going to have an aerosol product. All of those things that are going to be taken into consideration when you are going to be cleaning your environment and decontaminating the area. So when you're going to be cleaning, of course, Not only is it important to wear PPE in terms of what the cleaner you chose is going to be, but also just in terms of protecting yourself from getting any of the virus potentially. You do want to wear gloves, and you want to prevent any kind of exposed skin so that you're not touching anything by accident. Once you're done cleaning, always remember to wash your hands and wash your hands often if you're not the one that's going to be doing the cleaning. So PPE, or personal protective equipment, can include gloves, it can include a face mask, it can include goggles, it can include overalls or any kind of clothes that you would put on top of your regular clothing for your job. Now this brings us to the Walter matrix. So when you're going to be cleaning, there are going to be 4 things that you're going to consider for having the best clean possible. So that's contact time. So I already mentioned, for example, that disinfectants tend to need to last longer on the surface. So it can be between 30 seconds up to a minute. Sometimes it can take even a few minutes of soaking or contact time for the surface to be properly disinfected. Another thing will be mechanical action. So mechanical action is, are you going to be using a pressure washer? Are you going to be just doing a spray and wipe? Are you going to have some sort of automatic parts washing? Next is going to be the concentration of your product. Are you going to use something ready to use? Is it something that you want to dilute? And then finally, it will be temperature. Are you going to be working on something with cold water, hot water, something in between? So I have a little bit more on those 4 matrix parameters. So contact time really is another way of saying soaking time. So machines that have a lot of agitation or extended cycle times that might be required. Of course, if you're doing a spray and wipe, that's going to be up to you for how long you choose to let it soak versus a machine which is already pre-programmed. Mechanical action, you can have something like dipping, which is not very mechanical in that sense, or you can have something like pressure washings that have high pressure water jets that have that extra. So you're not doing that much work manually, but the pressure and the agitation from the stream is doing it for you. Concentration, it's important to note that more is not always equal to better. If we're looking at, say, laundry detergents, now they've become more concentrated, so you often need less. So if you have to use a more product, it's not necessarily going to do a better cleaning. And you also want to use a product that's the least concentrated for your needs. Normally, as a cleaning product becomes more concentrated, you tend to have more hazards or more health and safety issues associated with that product. So you always want to use something that's the safest for your cleaning needs. And that is sometimes related to concentration. Last but not least, if we go a little bit more into detail for the temperature, sometimes this can involve for safety reasons. So if you have a product that's flammable, you definitely don't want to have it heated. Other times it's in terms of protecting your product from breakdown of some of the raw materials that are inside. And then temperature is also in terms of cleaning. So when you wash your dishes, you normally use hot water versus cold water. Can be the same thing for your surfaces. And especially with COVID-19 and the coronavirus, if you're washing your hands, you're definitely going to be using hot water, medium to hot water. And if you can use hot water for cleaning your surfaces, that's even better. So I have an example here of one of our products called Gold Matrix Ready, and you can kind of see how it fits in this matrix. So for mechanical action, you can use it for a lot of different cleaning methods. So we have a level 7 for mechanical action. Concentration, it is ready to use, so it's not as concentrated as a dilutable product. Temperature, you can have it heated all the way to 90 degrees Celsius, so that's why it's almost to the max. And then for contact time, this is really up to you and depending on the contaminant. So whether or not you have something tougher to clean that's going to need a little bit more soaking time to get disintegrated and dissolved, or is it going to be something that you can just spray and wipe within 10 seconds? So next question, what's important when you're selecting a cleaner? Is it material? Is it the cleaning method? Is it the type of contaminant? Or is it health and safety? So 3, 2, 1. So this is a bit of a tricky question. The answer is actually all of the above. You should really be focusing on getting cleaners that meet the type of cleaning method that you're going to be using, the material that you're going to be cleaning, the type of contaminant that you want to remove, and then of course your health and safety. So when I talk about method or cleaning method, that really is, are you going to be using a spray and wipe? So manual cleaning. Are you going to be using an automatic parts washer? Are you going to use something where you can just dip? Are you going to have some sort of machine to do the cleaning for you? Or is it going to be something like a pressure washer, excuse me, that you have to be in contact with? The second parameter or consideration is the material. So you have to be very careful with selecting a cleaner so that you don't ruin plastic, for example, or any other kind of sensitive materials like rubber. You can have something that's meant for glass, and if you're cleaning metal, sometimes you want to have special consideration for softer metals like aluminum, copper, brass, versus if you're going to be cleaning stainless steel. The type of contaminant. So organic and inorganic. For those of you who don't really know the difference between inorganic and organic, so organic is going to be materials like oils and greases, anything that's going to have like a natural component, so to speak. While inorganic components are things like rust, or it could be paint, inks, waxes, tar, bitumen, things that are not necessarily made with a natural component in it. Last but not least, your health and safety. So this is really, should be one of the most important as well, just because this is what you're going to be exposed to. So in terms of hazards, is it carcinogenic? Is it going to be sensitive for your skin? Is it going to be an issue for your eyes or for your lungs when you're breathing it in? Is the product flammable? Do you need to wear PPE when you're using this product? And for some people, maybe VOCs, so volatile organic compounds. So all of this are going to be working towards picking and choosing the correct solution for you and for your needs. So one little note about hazardous products, because I feel like this is very important. We want to make sure everyone stays safe out there. So if you are able, please get the SDS, so the safety data sheet. Oftentimes it's going to be available on the website. Sometimes you'll also see some of the safety and hazard information right on the label. Always wear correct PPE. At a minimum, please wear gloves, not even just for the cleaning solution, but even now with the virus out there to protect your skin. And very important, don't mix chemicals together. So we all know about bleach and ammonia causing toxic gas. You really don't want to mix chemicals together. Please stick with one for certain applications. And if you need to, you can use another cleaner for different applications. Also, when you're diluting a product, always put the product into the water. Do not pour the water into concentrated products. So when you're diluting bleach, if you're going to be using that as a disinfectant, you'll want to put the bleach into your jar or your container of water, not the other way around. Then last but not least, we mentioned a few times, but please wash your hands after cleaning. It's very important. Keep you safe, keep everyone around you safe as well. So here at Walter, we want to offer a few different solutions for your cleaning needs, especially for all your maintenance applications, anything that's going to be multi-purpose, general purpose. We also want to offer solutions and products that are going to be the most compatible with as many different surfaces as possible so that you don't need multiple different products for cleaning. All of your cleaning solutions can be met with some of the products that we have here. And then of course, in this time, we want to also offer things that can aid in the prevention of spreading and propagating germs. So we're offering Uno S, Uno SF, Gold Matrix Ready as general purpose cleaning, FT100 as a fast evaporating light contaminant cleaner, and then Enox Clean and Enox Shine for anything that's going to be stainless steel. So let's go a little bit more into detail on each product. So Uno S and Uno SF are really for your general purpose cleaning needs. We have two different formulas. One's going to be a foaming and one's going to be a non-foaming. And this really is going to depend on how you want to clean. So your cleaning method, are you going to have something that's going to have a lot of agitation, or are you going to have something that's more of spray and wipe? So this is really for light to medium contaminants, so oils, greases, dust, everything in between. You can use it for pressure washing, you can use it for floor cleaning, whether it's a mop and bucket or floor cleaning machines. You can even use it just for manual cleaning as well. Some of the features and benefits is that you can heat this product up. Similar to the gold matrix I discussed a few slides ago, you can heat this up to 90 degrees Celsius. So if you are going to be decontaminating your environment with a pressure washer and you're going to be using hot water, you can still feel confident that this product will give a good clean. You can dilute this product. This is one of the great features about the product, is that you can dilute it with water so that you can use different concentrations for different cleaning surfaces. So if you're going to be doing floor cleaning, for example, you might want to dilute a little bit more. If you're going to be doing desks and tables, you might want to have it a little bit more concentrated. It does have a high pH, so it has a pH of 12, so it's a highly alkaline solution. And as you can see here, we have the CFIA logo for Canadians and the NSF logo for Americans on the line. This is for the food industry, so whether or not you can bring it into food manufacturing, so quote unquote food grade, so normally not for food contact surfaces, but you are able to bring it into those manufacturing and factories that have any kind of pharmaceutical or even food related, wastewater related type of activities. So I would recommend this type of product for floor washing, desks, tables, plastic chairs, countertops, entrance doors, elevator buttons, vending machines, paint, anything that with a paint and metal. You can really use this for a wide variety of materials, as you can see on the upper right hand corner. So this is a really great general purpose. Following this, we have Gold Matrix Ready. So I already mentioned it before, but I will mention a little bit more again. So this is similar to the last product, Uno S, Uno SF, but this is a ready to use version. So it's not a dilutable, but you are going to be using it for the same types of contaminants. So if it's oil and greases, smoke and dust, even things like in between. So we have here fingerprints, any kind of light to medium contaminants, once again, for the same types of cleaning processes. So is it going to be manual? Are you going to use a pressure washer, floor washing machine? Again, can be heated up to 90 degrees Celsius or 194 Fahrenheit. It is ready to use, has a high pH, so pH of 12, so again, highly alkaline. And we do have the registration in progress for the food industry in terms of NSF and CFIA. And you can see here that it is VOC free. Next, we have FT100, so the light surface and glass cleaner. So this is great for any kind of light contaminants. So here we have light oils and greases, fingerprints, dust, carbon marks for manual cleaning. The great thing about this is that we do have the aerosol version, which is a foaming product, and we also have a liquid and trigger sprayer. So you can use it for a wider variety of vertical surfaces as well as horizontal surfaces. It does have 8% alcohol. It will leave a residue-free, streak-free surface, and it evaporates quickly. And because it evaporates quickly, you're going to use this maybe more for sensitive types of materials, so plastics, for example, but anything that might have something electrical in relation. We're talking about screens, keyboards, your computer mice, telephones, your glass, your windows, your mirrors, light switches, handles, doorknobs, car steering wheels, for example, is another highly frequently touched surface, remote controls, elevator buttons, even your PPE, like you want to, your goggles, every time you're taking them off or putting them back on the table. Before you put them back on, you want to make sure that they're clean before they touch your face. That's very important. Even whiteboards, for example, because we do have the aerosol format, you do have that option for a lot of different types of surfaces that are vertical. Last but not least, we do have a stainless steel cleaner. So this is Inox Clean, Inox Shine. So one's an acidic cleaner, Inox Clean, and this is going to be more for like surfaces that might have tarnish, rust, mineral deposits. But you could also use Inox Shine for lighter contaminants that we discussed, like light oils and greases, fingerprints, and dust. For manual cleaning, so a spray and wipe. For the acidic cleaner, you definitely want to neutralize either with a product that has a high pH like Uno or FT100 in the liquid format. For the Enox Clean product, you can dilute the product, again, if you want to use it for different materials, especially if they're going to be softer, but always for metal, so aluminum or brass. The products are non-flammable. They are VOC free. We do have, again, you see the CFIA and SF registration. And this is going to be more, again, for stainless steel. So we're thinking more appliances. So whether it's fridges, fridge handles, faucets, sinks, microwaves, even the railings that you have, could be hand dryers in the washrooms, any kind of pharmaceutical equipment, agricultural equipment, like the tanks. And we do have multiple formats available as well. So all this to say that hard surfaces are more likely to be contaminated. We do need cleaning and disinfecting now more than ever. So to make sure that not only you're safe as you're working, but for everyone else's safety. You can follow the guidelines for choosing the correct product using the Walter Matrix and the cleaning parameters. So we really want to get cleaning and prevent the spread of COVID-19. For more information, you're always welcome to use our catalog, which you can find online or at your distributor. Of course, I mentioned online, so we do have our website where you can find more information on specific products in the cleaners, as well as the whole Walter brand. We do have a mobile application that you can download, whether or not you're using an Android phone or an iPhone. You can use both. So please go to the equivalent app stores and you can download it. And this is really an app to help you figure out what cleaner is the best on your situation. So it asks you 3 simple questions. What are you cleaning? How are you cleaning? And what's the surface that you're cleaning on? And based off of those 3 questions, we can then recommend one or a few different products to help you with your cleaning needs. You're always free to contact us as well here at Walter. So we do have an online chat available. So if you just go to our website, you'll have a chat pop up, or you can find it on the bottom right corner of the page. Customer service. So we do have customer service for US and for Canada. You can feel free to email us directly there. And we do have Carolyn, who works in inside sales. So you have 3 different levels of customer support at any time, wherever you are. So thank you once again for joining us. My name is Sarah Canzo. I'm the product manager for the cleaners and lubricants here at Walter. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. I hope this was an informative webinar and that you learned some information. And thank you all so much for all your hard work. So we want to make sure that you work better and stay safe. And that's really important. Thank you. Bye-bye.